In the realm of warriors, the Heavy Knight stood as a stalwart defender, drawing the ire of adversaries to shield companions. Yet, this class was marred by inherent flaws, lacking the prowess of other protective counterparts. Its offensive capabilities languished, even with heightened levels. Thus, it earned the dubious distinction of being the most cursed and seemingly useless class among all others. As the main character, heir to the Eden family, prepared for the blessing ceremony, a peculiar sense of déjà vu enveloped him. It felt as if these events had unfolded before in a distant past, raising unsettling questions about his existence. During the ceremony, his father, seemingly reassured, addressed him as Elma, expressing confidence in the god of swords. The priest invoked divine providence, a concept the protagonist was well acquainted with, having lived in this world as part of a virtual reality multiplayer game in a previous life. Elma, embracing the moment, expressed joy at being a Heavy Knight, only to sense an impending disquiet. His father's horrified gaze prompted a revelation. A miscommunication had occurred. Instead of becoming a swordmaster, Elma had unwittingly proclaimed himself a Heavy Knight, a revelation met with disdain from onlookers. His father's disappointment escalated into public humiliation as a man berated Elma, highlighting the perceived weakness and lack of attack skills of the Heavy Knight class. Despite Elma's attempts to pacify his father, the situation spiraled out of control. A girl named Maris, a representative of a side branch of the family, unexpectedly entered the scene, seeking her own blessing. Maris, grinning with malicious satisfaction, declared herself a swordmaster and, in a shocking turn of events, insinuated that she had absorbed Elma's supposed talent. The family head, undeterred, embraced Maris as the true heir, casting Elma aside. A wave of contempt washed over Maris as she dismissed Elma's suitability for family leadership. In a gut-wrenching moment, Elma was disowned and ordered to leave, denounced as an unworthy son carrying the stigma of a Heavy Knight. Cast into the streets with meager compensation, Elma lamented the betrayal of his family. Alone in a hotel room, Elma contemplated his predicament. Armed with the ostensibly powerful Heavy Knight class, he pondered the disconcerting disparities between the game world he knew and the harsh reality he faced. Determined to unravel the mystery, he scrutinized his newfound status and skills, apprehensive about potential deviations from the familiar attributes of the Heavy Knight class. Elma felt a surge of relief as he examined his skills. Every skill in his repertoire was just as he remembered them from the skill tree. The skill tree, he thought, was a pathway to shaping his destiny. With 5 available skill points initially, and 1 point awarded with each level increase, the choices he made would determine his fate. The skill tree comprised fixed skills, along with 2 types of skills obtained randomly when identifying a class. For Elma, heavy armor was a fixed skill, considered by many to be the weakest in the Heavy Knight branch. Yet, despite its challenges, Elma believed in its strength. However, he acknowledged the time-consuming nature of heavy armor skills and the difficulty in handling them. He invested his skill points in heavy armor, unlocking the defensive wall skill at the 2nd level. The protection power increased by 10, solidifying his readiness for any challenge. Elma, now equipped with heavy armor, left the city limits the next morning. At level 1, Elma's attack power was 8, defense was 8, and magic power was 5. He had 3 skills in total. As he walked through the forest, a croaking sound caught his attention. A massive toad appeared, a 2nd-level monster. Elma swiftly activated the defensive wall skill, repelling the toad and causing it to perish. In the aftermath, Elma's level increased from 1 to 2. While acknowledging the difficulty, Elma considered defensive wall a valuable skill in close combat. He collected a magic stone, dropped by the defeated toad, noting its 2nd-level status. Realizing the importance of such stones, Elma decided to collect them. Suddenly, a cry for help echoed from the depths of the forest. Rushing to the source, Elma encountered a man under attack by a horde of toads. Using his defensive wall skill, Elma single-handedly defeated the toads, causing his level to rise to 3. The grateful adventurer introduced himself as Ares, having struggled to find a group due to a lack of trust. Ares proposed forming a party, impressed by Elma's strength. However, Elma declined, explaining that he preferred leveling up independently to earn more experience, items, and titles. Though Ares found this decision strange, Elma remained resolute, apologizing for any confusion. In the end, Elma embarked on his journey as a solo adventurer, determined to carve his path and achieve greatness in the world of skills and challenges. In the grip of a poison's critical dose, Ares, guided by Elma, heads towards the city. Expressing gratitude, Elma contemplates joining the adventurers and seeks registration at the guild in random. At the Adventurers Guild, Elma, a 12th level heavy knight, approaches the reception desk, introducing himself to the girl. Confirming his registration in the protection class, the girl stamps his adventurer status as F rank. Eager to ascend the ranks, Elma contemplates the challenges ahead. Amidst his aspirations, the atmosphere turns sour as onlookers mock him, undermining his quest for companionship. Undeterred, Elma negotiates the exchange of valuable stones, earned through solo hunting, with the receptionist. As he secures funds for accommodation, he inquires about available tasks. To his surprise, a looming figure reveals the failure of a mass request, pointing fingers at Elma. Facing skepticism, he apologizes, prompting the girl, identified as a red magician, to vouch for his eccentricity. The red magician, skilled in attack, recovery, and auxiliary magic, cautions Elma against overestimating his heavy knight class. Unfazed, Elma remains steadfast in his choice. The looming figure then identifies the ghoul as the leader of a horde, drawing attention from D-rank adventurers. As the group prepares for the challenge, the narrative takes a turn, blending Elma's journey with a touch of authorship. Elma's attention was captivated by the man's words as he detailed the ghoul's formidable attributes. With an estimated level of 30, the ghoul lacked direct attack skills, but could summon the undead through the ominous breath of the dead. Despite being a D-rank adventurer, the man named Guten boasted a level around 40. Elma, considering the dynamics of the group, acknowledged the potential dangers. He noted the abundance of weak-minded and arrogant individuals among them, emphasizing that their survival rate would plummet due to their lack of cooperation. Elma turned to Guten, suggesting more specific instructions for dealing with the undead hordes. The man, displeased with Elma's input, questioned the young man's audacity. Elma, unimpressed, asserted that their low levels required guidance. The man reluctantly accepted the need to take charge. A girl in the group interjected, questioning Elma's concern about the small undead creatures. She mocked Elma's fear, expressing doubts about him and Guten. Unfazed, she declared that anyone scared should run, as they would only be hindrances. However, as she called out to Guten, there was no response. Suddenly, undead appeared behind the girl, and panic ensued. She fell to the ground, screaming. The chaotic scene prompted Guten to reprimand his teammates and order them to move out. Elma, observing a peculiar stick held by the monster they were hunting, felt a semblance of control returning. Elma instructed the group to form a melee team, splitting into 3 groups. He emphasized covering for each other to avoid getting overwhelmed. Elma showcased his combat skills, using parry and defensive stances to fend off the advancing monsters. He created a protective wall, astonishing his squad members. Despite initial shock, the group regained composure. Elma assured them that he was there to help, advising them to communicate in case of unforeseen circumstances. As Elma successfully dealt with the advancing monsters, a warrior questioned his claim of being a heavy knight. In the aftermath, with the cemetery seemingly cleared of zombies, warriors were exhausted but victorious. Elma, at level 16, felt confident in his progress. The group, catching their breath, considered their next move. Elma affirmed that the ghoul's head was beyond their capabilities and should be left to Guten's expertise. The man was currently engaged in combat with the formidable monster. With his bat, the man skillfully dodged the attack, his face contorted in a serious expression. Gripping his hammer even tighter, he struck the monster's head with all his might. The blow sent the creature sprawling backward, screaming in pain and rage. The man, displaying remarkable agility, leapt aside, noting that the relentless ghoul had not yet lost its fighting spirit. Gon, however, realized that he was surrounded by a horde of lifeless bodies, which clung to the man, hindering his movements. Guten furrowed his brow and urgently summoned Tail and Paul for assistance. With a burst of strength, he pushed the monsters away, instructing his companions to deal with the remaining corpses. Frustration etched on his face, Guten questioned why Tail and Paul were merely standing there. The man and the girl, both visibly shaken and drenched in sweat, remained silent. Putin berated the duo, insisting they wouldn't improve if they continued to display cowardice. The girl acknowledged this but expressed concern that getting too close to the ghoul's head might prove perilous. In the midst of this, the ghoul's head advanced from behind, aiming a powerful punch. The young man, detecting the threat with his peripheral vision, swiftly evaded the attack. The ghoul's fist struck the ground, and Guton, landing gracefully, leaned on his arm for balance. Seizing the opportunity, he leaped up, swinging his axe and activating his stone-crushing ability, delivering a powerful blow to the ghoul's head. Elma observed the unfolding chaos, analyzing the monster's characteristics. The ghoul's head was at level 33, with health at 28 out of 79 points. As the monster writhed in pain, Elma saw a chance for victory. However, the zombies intervened, grabbing Gon's limbs to impede his assault. Tail and Paul trembled in fear. Other group members drew their blades, ready to engage the small zombies. Elma, sensing a disturbance, ordered them to hold their positions. The monster unexpectedly seized a zombie and devoured it, prompting a rapid health recovery. Elma deduced that the creature was a corpse eater, but the sheer number of undead used for recovery puzzled. The monster emitted a heart-rending growl, followed by a scream that sent shivers down everyone's spines. To their horror, the ghoul's head underwent ontogenetic evolution, escalating from level 33 to 40. Panic set in as Elma realized the dire turn of events. Poutine, grappling with confusion, questioned the nature of this monster's ontogenetic evolution, a rare and unpredictable occurrence even in the magical realm. Elma urgently warned Guton to distance himself from the now transformed monster. The creature's screams intensified, signaling a perilous transformation. Tail and Paul, hidden behind a grave monument, were instructed to distract the monster. The girl sought guidance on using magic, fearing for her life. Elma emphasized that defeating Guton meant certain death, urging them to act immediately. In the chaos, the mad gal head forcefully pushed Guton away, causing him to cough up blood. Elma, rushing to his aid, found the man unconscious and deafened. The monstrous creature, with a menacing paw, aimed at the defenseless man's prone body, leaving the fate of the group hanging in the balance. Suddenly, Elma materialized before him, swiftly employing the parry ability. He thrust his weapon forward, attempting to defend against the monstrous blow delivered by Mon. The force was so immense that he was nearly tossed aside, but the young man managed to stay on his feet, relying on his weapon for support. With resilience, he commanded his team members. Elma directed Tail to heal Guton and guide him out of his state of exhaustion. The girl inquired about recovery, only to reveal that she had forsaken it in favor of boosting her attack power. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the young man urged them to take Guton to safety. He sternly instructed them to run, prompting the girl to acknowledge and sprint towards Gut to carry him away. Elma contemplated the toxic numbness typical of a mad head, speculating that it could be the cause of Guton's paralysis. In games, such conditions often healed within 3 minutes, but reality might differ significantly. A colossal shadow loomed over the young man, and his fearful gaze met the level 40 crazy ghoul, head fully restored with 94 health points. Elma tightened his grip on his weapon, determined to face the imminent threat until Guton recovered. The young man assumed a fighting stance, ready to either strike or withstand the monster's onslaught. Spectating onlookers couldn't comprehend how an adventurer of his level could confront such a formidable foe. Some suggested fleeing while they still had the chance, fearing repercussions if Elma fell. As Elma and the mad ghoul head faced off, the young man acknowledged the vast level difference, realizing that one mistake could be fatal. The monster, with its massive fangs and teeth, attacked ferociously. Elma skillfully evaded the strikes, showcasing his combat prowess. However, a powerful blow sent him flying, and as he rose, he acknowledged the high stakes, determined to give his all as a hero. Putting his sword into the ground, the young man struggled to stand, recognizing the need to rise to the occasion. A malicious smile crossed Elma's face as he embraced the challenge. Meanwhile, other warriors observed from behind tombstones, with one remarking on the heavy knight's courage in battling a monster that had effortlessly injured the formidable Guton. Ignoring the commentary, Elma focused on the intense battle. His concentration was evident, but blood trickled down from his temple and mouth, evidence of the monster's punishing blows. Undeterred, the young man faced the enraged monster, which displayed fury and relentless attacks. Elma strategically dodged the monster's assaults, leveraging his agility. The crazy ghoul's head swung with ferocity, but Elma skillfully evaded, showcasing his prowess. Recognizing the need to enhance his capabilities, the young man accessed his status window, allocating points to the initial fencing skills. The system acknowledged his upgrade, granting him the skill to exploit weak points with his sword. As the monster growled and prepared for another attack, Elma deployed his parry skill, blocking the blow with his upgraded sword. The impact was formidable, yet Elma remained steadfast. The young man, now equipped with the skill to target weak points, contemplated his strategy, determined to face the monstrous adversary head-on. The youthful adventurer once more gracefully evaded the impending strike, smoothly redirecting his sword before plunging it into the earth. Swiftly contorting around his weapon, he slipped beneath the monstrous creature's looming form. The ghoulish head frantically scanned from side to side, perplexed by the young man's sudden disappearance. Elma, halting abruptly, clenched his teeth and, with skillful precision, targeted a vulnerable point, striking the monster squarely in the back. Yet, the mad ghoul, seemingly impervious, turned towards the young man, launching a charging shoulder strike, the sole skill at its disposal. Elma skillfully leapt back, evading the assault, only to find the monster redirecting its attention toward. Contemplating the suitability of such skills for heavy knights with their robust defense but limited attack power, Elma acknowledged that defeating this creature required more than sheer naivety. The ghoul's head bellowed a deafening scream, fists swinging wildly. Elma deftly dodged the relentless barrage, a malicious smile playing on his lips. He taunted the creature for its sluggishness, provoking a reaction in its own guttural language. Enraged, the monster unleashed a series of furious blows, each expertly sidestepped or evaded by Elma. With a smirk, Elma declared the end was nigh. Yet the main character's role was far from over. Suddenly, an unsettling sensation gripped the monster as a noise reached its ears. Guten emerged from the shadows, axe swinging, executing a dragon-slaying strike that embedded the weapon deep into the ghoul's head. Blood gushed forth, and the monster's head trembled before falling silent. As Elma's level soared from 16th to 23rd, Putin silently observed Elma catching his breath. The man, initially regarding the young adventurer with anger and contempt, bowed apologetically, acknowledging Elma's insights about sloppy command and lack of coordination. Guten approved of Elma, taking the magic crystal as a reward. Examining the fallen treasure, Elma contemplated its value, appreciating the 40-level magic stones. The man assured him it was a reward for the demon's demise. Spotting a rare demon item, the man urged caution, asserting the validity of his word. Elma, intrigued, examined the shield's characteristics, marveling at its 25-point protection and a market value of 3 million local currency. Gon expressed surprise at the shield's worth, prompting Elma to turn toward him with a neutral expression. Shrugging off the astonishment, Elma redirected his attention to Gon, inquiring about his promotion. The man assured Elma of his swift transfer to a rank, attributing it to the guild's keen interest in their investment. Elma, elated, inquired about the truthfulness of the statement. Tin chuckled, revealing the guild's surveillance of Elma to ensure fair play. Gon affirmed the impending promotion and dared anyone to object. Elma chuckled awkwardly as she bantered about beating someone to exhaustion. Their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a girl who apologized and, rubbing her hands, sought Mr. Guten's permission for a promotion. She claimed that her treatment had helped Guton recover, and he sternly addressed her by name. Guton vehemently objected to the girl's promotion, asserting that she was helpless against monsters and that the guild faced other pressing issues. He commanded her to comply with requests and be diligent. The girl reluctantly agreed, but not before casting a hateful glance at Elma. Later, Guten and Elma returned to the guild to submit their tasks. The receptionist informed them that the reward for the assignment included 130,000 local currency, 10 magic stones valued at 200,000 local currency, and the opportunity to sell a magic stone from the monster for 600,000 local currency. Guten, amused, remarked on Elma's substantial earnings from the mission. The receptionist, however, expressed doubt that Elma could have defeated the monster alone, citing suspicions from others in the guild. Fellow adventurers questioned the legitimacy of Elma's accomplishment, and Guten grew furious. He suggested subjecting Elma to interrogation, deeming it an insult to their rules. The hall fell into an awkward silence and thanks to Guton's intervention, the gossip ceased, leading to Elma's successful promotion to an E-rank adventurer. Afterward, Elma roamed the city streets, contemplating his next steps. With access to the Dream Hole, he considered seeking wealth there. However, he decided to prioritize finding the Book of Skills for the Smoking Blade. Elma believed it to be crucial for unlocking the true potential of a heavy knight. Entering a shop, Elma searched for the elusive Smoking Fangs but found only various magical items. Perplexed, he approached the counter where a woman reading a newspaper sat. Elma inquired about purchasing healing potions, and the woman quoted a price of 72,000 local currency, to which Elma agreed. Seizing the opportunity, Elma asked about acquiring a book of skills. The woman sighed, revealing that the sale of skill books was prohibited and only the Adventurers Guild or the church handled them. Shocked, Elma questioned the woman's credibility, suspecting the noble's growing influence. The woman explained that in Rondel, his family, the Edwans, monopolized skill books. Dumbfounded, Elma contemplated this revelation. The woman, sympathizing with his predicament, provided him with a map to a hidden store selling items from deceased adventurers. She explained the unspoken agreement between such black market shops. Elma, understanding the harsh reality, accepted the map and embarked on the path to obtain the coveted Smoking Fangs book. In the bustling city, Elma marveled at the magic item store's offerings. The nobles, in their pursuit of mastery, acquired items at low prices, even if they didn't use them. Elma, now a holy sword with recovered memories from a past life, reflected on how naive he might have been without this transformation. The girl from the store, squeezing a piece of paper, warned Elma about the hardships adventurers faced, urging him not to disclose the store's secrets to important figures. He agreed, and soon found himself at the right location using a route map provided by the girl. Amidst the intriguing items, Elma discovered skill books, including an archer skill book worth 2 million local currency. However, the store owner revealed it was actually valued at 3 million, emphasizing the risks they took as authorities turned a blind eye. Elma, considering his funds, pondered the purchase, especially after finding a crucial grimoire for basic skills of a heavy knight. The store owner proposed a hefty price of 50 million local currency for the sought-after grimoire. Negotiating, Elma managed to secure it for 51 million, including a search charge. Now faced with the challenge of raising the funds, Elma contemplated various plans. Sitting on a wooden box, Elma thought about the exorbitant amount. He recognized the distorted sense of money among senior adventurers and decided to strategize. Considering plans involving rare falls, defensive skills, and beginner fencing, he settled on forming a group to explore new strategies. Spotting a trio consisting of a swordsman, a thief, and a clown named Lucy, Elma engaged in a conversation. Skeptical of Lucy's contributions, he questioned her usefulness. Lucy, undeterred, asserted her importance and expressed her willingness to receive a share from the sword. Elma, still contemplating his plan, acknowledged the potential of allies in creating a formidable group for future adventures. In the midst of reproaches, the young man faced the accusation that his actions were deemed cruel, particularly when it came to receiving a substantial amount of money. Lucy, expressing her discomfort, found his aura to be unsettling. The young man, wearing a threatening expression, questioned if the girl truly meant no harm. He argued that while he merely offered suggestions, Lucy was the one who handled the skill tree allocation independently. Elma identified the root of the problem as the improper distribution of skills and the excessive allocation of funds, a dilemma they frequently encountered in the wizarding world. Despite initially distributing skill trees based on group compatibility, changes occurred, rendering the system seemingly meaningless. Klein interjected by tossing coins, announcing they amounted to 100,000, a sum supposedly owed by the girl. Assuming she had consented, he urged her to pick up the money and leave. Lucy hesitated, prompting the young man to express his disappointment. He asserted that he had invested effort in including Lucy in their group, only to be disillusioned by what he perceived as her shallow fascination with material rewards. He found her behavior disgusting and turned to a girl named Reese for support. She agreed, stating they couldn't irrationally share their hard-earned rewards. Lucy attempted to clarify, apologizing to both Klein and Reese, stating she didn't need the money from the sword. However, Klein wished her luck in her future endeavors, and Elma pondered the harsh reality that, as the saying goes, when money runs out, luck runs out too. He contemplated the cruelty of the skill point system, emphasizing the difficulty of leveling up without hunting demons of the same rank or possessing a compatible skill combination. As Lucy chased after her former comrades, apologizing for her actions, Elma intervened, grabbing her hand and proposing they work together. Startled, Lucy inquired about the young man's identity, and Elma assured her he wouldn't let her lose out on any money. Klein approached, questioning the situation and Elma's status. The main character explained Elma's invitation, prompting Klein to express doubt due to Lucy's perceived weakness. Elma confidently dismissed any concerns, leading to Klein challenging Elma's claim that everything was fine. Klein suspected Elma either didn't understand Lucy's incompetence or was desperate. Despite Lucy's awkward embarrassment, Elma stood firm. Klein, unsatisfied, drew his sword, questioning Elma's level and partnerships. Learning that Elma was a lone heavy knight of the 23rd level, Klein mocked the notion, believing it improbable given Lucy's level 13 status. In the midst of tension, Lucy observed a fellow adventurer named Reese approaching Klein, expressing skepticism about Elma's eagerness to recruit Lucy. Reese suggested Elma might be desperate, prompting Klein to urge Elma to leave peacefully for his own convenience. The young man, unyielding, declared he didn't seek permission and would take Lucy with him. Klein, Reese, and Lucy expressed doubts about Elma's abilities, but the young man dismissed them, claiming Elma's expulsion was a result of skill misuse. He believed it was a stain on their reputation, and the girl agreed. Klein confronted Elma, suggesting he leave peacefully, but Elma and Lucy stood their ground. Klein, realizing Elma's determination, applauded him and congratulated the duo. Klein then tossed more money, urging Lucy to take it. However, Elma prevented her, criticizing Klein's lack of respect. As they departed, Klein labeled them stupid and predicted they'd make a great couple. Lucy and Elma eventually found themselves in a local restaurant, where Lucy thanked Elma for inviting her to the group. Despite her doubts, Elma reassured her that killing the right demons would help raise her level. Lucy, half-jokingly, questioned if Elma saved her because he fell in love at first sight, leaving Elma bewildered by the suggestion. In the midst of their conversation, she realized that beginning their relationship as friends might be the best course of action. Despite her sweet demeanor and the idea of becoming his wife, they both agreed that starting as friends was a prudent approach. However, before she could delve further into the topic, the young man swiftly changed the subject. Intrigued by the luck skill tree, he questioned Lucy about her proficiency in it. The conversation then took an unexpected turn as they discussed the magical concept of sleep holes in the world they inhabited. Ozyros, the sleeping god and creator of their world, had succumbed to madness over what seemed like an eternity. His nightmares continued to influence reality, creating gates that spawned terrifying monsters. Elma and Lucy found themselves at one such gate known as the Angel Toy Box, a sleep hole where they needed to confront formidable challenges. Elma expressed his need for Lucy's assistance, revealing his ambitious goal of earning 30 million gold and raising Lucy to the 30th level. Lucy, inexperienced in such matters, was taken aback but wholeheartedly relied on the young man. She wondered if it was appropriate to discuss such matters in broad daylight, but Elma assured her of their shared goals. Armed with a stone divider that enhanced her attack power, Lucy vowed to meet Elma's expectations. As they entered a dungeon resembling a cute nursery hallway, Lucy noted the recommended level of 50, expressing doubt about the ease of defeating monsters. Elma proposed a strategy to start on lower floors, with him distracting enemies, while Lucy utilized her divider. The girl, holding her expensive weapon, was determined to prove her worth. Their first opponent, the Tishuji Hogi bear, appeared, possessing the 20th level. Lucy remarked on its cuteness, but Elma cautioned about its formidable level and attack power. Elma shared his knowledge about the monster, assuring Lucy of his plan to distract while she attacked from the blind spot. The battle commenced, with Elma using the shadow suppression skill to level up Lucy. To their surprise, the bear's appearance belied its true nature as claws emerged from soft paws and its belly transformed into a massive fanged mouth. Despite the unexpected threat, Elma skillfully pinned the bear with his shield, allowing Lucy to launch her attacks. After a challenging battle, Lucy discovered the absence of drops from the bear, leading to her disappointment. Elma, however, reassured Lucy that drops weren't essential, emphasizing the importance of leveling up. Unfazed, they continued their journey, facing another Tsuji Hogi bear. The tactical approach proved successful again, and this time, Lucy acquired a cute and round bear shield. The conversation shifted to the rarity of such drops, prompting the young man to ponder the significance of Lucy in their group. Lucy, holding the shields, questioned her usefulness, to which Elma expressed genuine satisfaction with her presence. The girl, laughing, offered him some of the bear shields, highlighting the growing camaraderie between them. Today, the young man hesitated, rejecting the notion that the level of the Tsuji Hogi bears had already been raised. The girl chimed in, affirming that her own level had swiftly ascended from the 13th to the 20th, a remarkable feat. Elma then revealed their ambitious goal for the day, capturing the elusive precious toad. Given the precarious situation, they strategized to hunt the toad in Angel's toy box, a dungeon where it occasionally appeared. Describing the precious toad as a golden rarity, Elma highlighted its infrequent appearances and the lucrative rewards bestowed upon its defeat. Despite its high level, the toad lacked potent attack skills, making it a challenging but manageable target. Elma handed the girl a blade, emphasizing its effectiveness against foes with high defense. Lucy, showing familiarity with the toad, shared an adventurer's tale about the perilous consequences of pursuing it too zealously. Many had perished due to the toad leading them into monster-infested territories. Despite the gravity of the task, the young man reassured the girl and urged her to focus on the plan. As they closed in on the precious toad in Angel's toy box, a surprise attack from a monster interrupted them. The young man swiftly defended against the assault, prompting Elma to instruct Lucy and him to retreat. However, Lucy questioned whether finishing off the monster might be a better option. Elma, discerning the monster wasn't their target, decided on evasion. The precious toad suddenly appeared, prompting Elma to marvel at their unexpectedly quick find. As the group faced the level 40 toad, Elma noticed Lucy's upgraded clown acrobatic skills. Elma calmly outlined the plan to the anxious girl, advising her to stay calm and composed during the hunt. Lucy, with reassurance from the young man, prepared herself for the task. In a coordinated effort, they cornered the toad in the narrow dungeon corridor. Lucy employed acrobatic skills to navigate the ceiling and walls, ensuring the toad couldn't escape. Elma and Lucy successfully trapped the toad, using illusions to block its path. The critical moment arrived as the toad approached the young man and the girl. Elma, recognizing the need for shadow suppression, used a holy element magic stone to bind the toad's shadow. With the toad immobilized, Elma declared their success, and Lucy joyfully recounted their professional execution of the plan. However, the challenge remained. Defeating the toad required a critical hit. Elma explained the intricacies of a critical strike, emphasizing the need for skill and luck. Lucy expressed her concern about her inability to contribute significantly, but Elma revealed her valuable skill, the ability to throw a die. Elma detailed the dice roll skill, where a roll of 6 guaranteed a critical hit. The girl, initially skeptical of her skill, now understood its crucial role in delivering a decisive blow. With a blend of strategy, teamwork, and a touch of luck, Elma and Lucy stood poised to vanquish the formidable precious toad. Breaking through the critical attack armor at 50 would add up, meaning the damage would increase by 1 point in 9,000, 500s of a time, and the penetration of protection would rise by 65. Lucy inquired if it would definitely work, to which Elma replied that even if some skills are situational or reveal themselves late, they are not useless. There are no useless skills. There's no point in dwelling on what others think of her. Clean and his group simply did not see the potential of the girl. Elma told Lucy that he would repeat himself, emphasizing that she needs the strength and they will need it in the future. Touched by these words, Lucy gripped her blade tighter and rushed straight towards the toad, claiming she could handle it. Unless she excused the young man, as she believed she wasn't worthy of calling herself even an adventurer. Elma agreed and expressed his belief in the girl. The girl swung and used the dice roll skill, the dial spinning around Lucy's weapon. Elma was tense and the precious toad was shaking with fear. Suddenly, the number 6 fell out and the girl struck the toad with all her might. The precious toad let out its last scream and its body cracked from the girl's strong blow. Surprisingly, the girl's level was raised from 21 to 27. Elma's level also increased from 24th to 30th. The young man explained the benefits of defeating the precious toad, mentioning the high experience gained and a chance of obtaining valuable drops. The duo stared intently at the toad's body, and a shining toad blade, a dagger made of the purest gold with an attack power of 12, appeared. Lucy and Elma were ecstatic about this fortunate drop, realizing the blade was worth 17 million local currency. Overwhelmed, Lucy couldn't believe their luck. Elma corrected her, stating that the blade was worth 17 million, not 1.7 million. The girl was astonished, and Elma suggested settling down in a remote village with their newfound wealth. Encouraged by Elma, Lucy decided to try their luck again and successfully defeated another precious toad. They obtained a second shining toad blade, further boosting their levels and wealth. Elma, now at level 33, comforted Lucy, who was still in disbelief over their 30 million local currency windfall. As they contemplated their future skill development, Lucy suddenly felt something and turned around, claiming she heard a baby crying. Elma was skeptical, thinking it might be a wandering king, a dangerous dungeon boss. Lucy explained the potential danger, but Elma reassured her that if they moved quickly, they could avoid encountering the king. Just as they were about to leave, cries for help reached their ears. Lucy and Elma witnessed a man and a girl in distress, realizing this wasn't a game, and they couldn't escape without helping them. Elma decided to confront a monster, the tin soldier, to buy time for Lucy and the others to escape. The situation intensified as more tin soldiers appeared, leading to a tense moment where Elma urged Lucy to leave while he faced the monsters alone. The scene ended with Lucy running away, promising Elma that he must return alive. Elma's heart raced as he managed to escape the relentless onslaught of the tin soldiers, warriors that fought with fierce precision in close combat. However, his relief was short-lived, for he now faced a greater challenge. The Dream King of the embryo species, a magical behemoth with terrifying attacks. To make matters worse, a new monster emerged from the shadows, emitting a bone-chilling. Realizing that confrontation was inevitable, Elma called out to the Dream King, acknowledging its presence. The monster responded with a guttural scream, a stark contrast to its seemingly weak characteristics for a level 50 boss. Elma knew that defeating this creature required exploiting its only vulnerability, the eye on its head, an area inaccessible without long-range attacks. Undeterred, Elma adjusted his status window, signaling his readiness to face the Dream King. He assured the monster that the impending battle would be fair, rejecting any notion of fleeing. A system window then notified him that his heavy armor oath had reached the 27th level, unlocking a new shield strike skill. Seizing the moment, Elma engaged the tin soldiers, utilizing his newly acquired skill to send one flying. Parrying with finesse, he disarmed another opponent, displaying remarkable skill in combat. As Elma contended with the tin soldiers, he observed the Dream King's behavior, realizing it refrained from using magical attacks while its minions still stood. Elma strategically targeted the tin soldiers, disrupting their formation with shield strikes and skillful maneuvers. However, he recognized the true challenge lay in dealing damage to the Dream King. Its massive defense rendered it impervious except for the vulnerable eye. The young adventurer's optimism soared as he acquired a magic earth stone from a 2-eye hoagie bear, unleashing a barrage of magical earthen needles. The embryo screamed in pain as Elma danced around, ensuring he stayed out of the magical line of sight. He shielded himself from the tin soldiers, recognizing their ability to learn and adapt to his skills. The battle intensified as 2 tin soldiers flanked him, forcing Elma to employ defensive tactics. In a surprising turn, Lucy, a companion Elma had entrusted with the safety of 2 tin soldiers, unexpectedly appeared on the battlefield. Using her double illusion skill, she had successfully led the monsters away to a safe location. Elma, stunned by Lucy's presence, questioned her decision to return. Lucy tearfully explained that she couldn't abandon Elma, having recognized the sacrifice he made to protect her. She refused to leave, expressing her determination to stand by his side. Elma, moved by Lucy's unwavering support, found a renewed sense of determination. Together, they faced the Dream King, understanding that defeating it required exploiting its weaknesses. As Elma and Lucy prepared for the next phase of the battle, the fate of their adventure hung in the balance, promising both peril and the potential for triumph. In the midst of the fierce battle, he felt an urgent need for her strength. The girl responded with a sweet smile, standing poised for the impending confrontation. Elma, on high alert, declared their united resolve to vanquish the embryo. The girl, sharing the sentiment, suggested they take the challenge head-on. Facing the embryo guarded by 3 tin soldiers, the unfolding clash saw one of the tin warriors charging at the young man. Swiftly, he shielded himself, prompting Lucy to warn of the impending attack. Elma and the tin soldier clashed forcefully, only to be interrupted by another attacker from the side. With a deft move, the young man dispatched one tin soldier with his shield, but the second one posed a new threat. As the battle unfolded, Lucy questioned the seemingly indestructible tin soldiers. Elma explained the futility of attempting to defeat them, emphasizing the need to target the embryo directly. Lucy, inquiring about a plan, discovered that Elma had a strategy involving a critical attack. Rolling a die for a 6, they could potentially break through the embryo's formidable defense. With acrobatics in her skill set, Lucy became the ideal candidate for Elma's plan. Despite the risky nature of the maneuver, they had no better option. Elma decided to charge at the embryo, urging Lucy to follow suit. In a coordinated effort, the young man used his shield strike skill to propel the girl into the air. As they approached the climax, the embryo unleashed a terrifying scream, resurrecting its tin soldiers with a repair skill. Lucy expressed disbelief, but Elma explained that a prolonged battle with the tin soldiers would be futile. The duo needed to focus on attacking the embryo directly. With Elma's critical attack plan in motion, Lucy utilized her acrobatic skills to position herself. The young man, hoping for a dice roll of 6, led the charge, acknowledging the slim chances of success. However, the fateful roll yielded a disappointing 4, leading to a failed attack on the embryo. The monster, now revived and mocking them, signaled a moment of despair. Determined not to succumb to defeat, Elma focused on a new strategy. He decided to distract the tin soldiers, allowing Lucy to land safely. Unexpectedly, Lucy used an acrobatic skill to reach the ceiling behind the embryo. Seizing the opportunity, she executed a perfect dice roll, achieving a critical hit that brought the monster to its demise. As the dust settled, Lucy gracefully landed on the ground. A notification window revealed the experience gained and the level upgrades for both Lucy and Elma. The unexpected victory left them in awe, with Elma realizing the extent of the girl's capability. The camaraderie between them deepened as Elma picked up the girl's hat, placing it back on her head. In a moment of gratitude, Elma thanked Lucy for her pivotal role in their triumph. Lucy, initially surprised, acknowledged the newfound self-confidence she had gained in the dungeon exploration. However, Elma insisted that it was the girl's strength that made the difference, transcending the limitations of class and level. With a mix of awkwardness and humility, the girl brushed off the praise. The duo, having defeated the King of Dreams against all odds, earned the title without a tower. The unexpected accolade and the valuable loot, including tin swords, further solidified Lucy's worth in Elma's eyes. As they contemplated their success, Elma recognized Lucy as a reliable companion, appreciating her quick thinking and capability in critical situations. Was surprised that she dropped several expensive items so easily. The young man thought that with such equipment would look very frivolous, but more importantly, it was a loot from an embryo. He asked the girl if the attribute of the wind, which should fall from the embryo, had fallen out there. The girl asked about the onion, then said, now they will look. Elma replied that they couldn't have been so lucky. Suddenly he notices something. There was an advanced wind magic skill book on the floor, which was worth 20 million local currency. The book allowed you to open the skill tree of advanced wind magic, also using MG to learn everything from single attacks, wind blades, to AO magic attacking lightning. Elma was incredibly surprised that they got a skill book. Suddenly Lucy came up to the young man and asked what he was doing and what he was hiding there. Elma replied that it was something terrible, disgusting. Something that could kill them. He was thinking that it would be better to take this book to that old woman. Entire dungeon began to shake. Lucy was scared and asked the young man what was going on here. Elma asked the girl, worry because it's just a dungeon disappearing. The King of Dreams has been defeated, so they will be outside soon. Lucy asked if this was really the case because she was a little scared. She didn't know it worked that way. Enveloped in a white fog, and then Elma said that it might be too early to say it now, but they had earned more than 65 million local currency. They received a skill book, 2 shining toad blades, 2 tin, swords, 2 bee shields, 2 embryo magic stones, 3 tin soldier magic stones, 2 precious toad magic stones, and 2 2G Hoagie Bear stones in total. They received 65 Mon 140,000 currency. Lucy was amazed by these numbers. Elma rushed to her and asked if the girl was okay. Lucy said she didn't want to talk yet. After a while, the story shifts to a girl named Reese and a young man, Klein, who were once Lucy's former allies. They were returning from another dungeon. Klein said that the two of them, their effectiveness, even the medicinal mushrooms, which he thought would fall out of the Matango with almost 100 chance, did not fall out to them. Once Ree said that Lucy's luck was useful after all, and running after Matango, certainly a bad idea. Klein chuckled and said it was just a coincidence. If Lucy hadn't asked for a share, Bloodsword, he wouldn't have kicked her out. Reese said Klein could just call her back. The young man asked the girl listen and said that he actually has pride. After all he had said to her, did the girl really want him to call her back? Reese said nothing. They entered the Adventurers Guild. Klein says that fortunately, thanks to that sword, they still have money left, so they have nowhere to hurry. When they entered the guild, they saw a large number of people sent, asked what was going on here, and if it could be that someone had taken down a highly monster. The young man was told that the adventurers of A rank and F rank were able to pass the dungeon of the angel toy box, which was the 50th level. Klein saw Elma and Lucy. He was surprised. These people were these two. Elma told the receptionist that they didn't want to go through this dungeon, but the king of sleep attacked them himself. If they don't want to believe it, they can ask the two adventurers they rescued this dungeon. The girl agreed and said that they would be able to receive the reward as soon as they all confirmed that the dungeon was closed. It happens that in the settlements adjacent to the dungeons, there are orders for cleaning these dungeons. Monsters often come out of dream holes and create anomalies that can lead to disasters. The level for the origin depends on the territory in which this dungeon appears. It is said that this is due to the mayor that flows in the ground, or is it another oddity of the sleeping god that people are not destined to solve? Truth of some things is impossible to know, and it remains only to build theories. High-level adventurers often live in cities near which high-level dungeons appear, because it is much more profitable for adventurers for the country. For this reason, there was no one in the city who could clear the dungeon of the Angel's Toy Box. The mayor decided to put a reward on it. Elma was surprised by this, because he could not even think that it was possible to get a reward for clearing the dungeon. He asked how much reward there would be for completing this task. The girl at the reception desk replied that they would receive 10 million local currency for clearing this dungeon. Klein was incredibly surprised by what he heard. Elma said it was amazing to give up such a large sum of 10 million local currency, and Lucy replied that she would be very happy right now, but she still hasn't moved away from their loot. Yet Klein asked about the loot and said that it was really because of Lucy's luck that they got something rare from the King of Dreams. He thought that this Elma initially knew that Lucy's luck would increase the chance of a drop. He recruited her to himself. That's why they immediately went to hunt the boss, and Lucy didn't even bat an eyebrow. She earned 10 million. He was interested in how much they had earned in this dungeon. The receptionist girl said according to the guild's charter, they would also raise them to adventurers of rank D, and Mrs. Lucy jumped right from rank F, passing the rank E. Klein asked if Lucy was now a D rank. Before he could blink, the girl had already risen so high. Then he ran towards the girl, and Reese asked him what he was up to. The young man called Lucy. The girl turned, Klein bending to the floor. The young man said that he was wrong, and he changed his mind, and then he asked if the girl could come back to them. He raised his head and said that the girl would get her share for the bloody sword. Elma. Lucy stood silently and watched all this. Then Elma turned to the girl and told her to go, because they still have a lot to do. Lucy agreed. Fly asked the girl to stop and listen to him, at least listen to him. At that time, Reyes was watching all this, and she was disgusted by the fact that Klee had previously talked about his pride, and now he was cruel on the floor because of Lucy. After a while, Lucy and Elma were sitting in a restaurant. Elma said that now they are drank, and they are also very lucky because they also received 10 million local currency from above the sky. point limit was increased to 45 when they became drunk adventurers. He wondered if that would be enough. Smoldering fangs, Elma was thinking about whether it was worth considering a plan to earn more money at that moment. Lucy asked the young man if it could be that something was wrong. Elma smiled and apologized to the girl. He said should celebrate now, because today was a great success. The girl agreed with the young man and said that they knew. Put smiles on their faces, she said that you can order anything today. She always wanted to eat her fill in King's Oven. She dreamed that one day she would succeed as an adventurer and come here to celebrate with her grizzle. Then she had thought that this group would be Klein and Liss. Then the girl opened the menu and was very surprised that the king crab pie with black mushroom sauce costs as much as 8,000. She asked why Elma hadn't said that. Everything felt exorbitantly priced in this place. The waitress flipped over the menu and informed Elma that nothing on this page exceeded 4,000 local currency. Elma, undeterred, ordered a king crab pie with black mushroom sauce. Lucy, surprised at the choice, questioned whether such a dish was available. Elma, amused, considered this an overlooked opportunity, insisting they discuss the loot first. Elma proposed selling the skill book, suggesting that advanced wind magic might be useful for Lucy. Lucy, however, indicated she didn't need it, and Elma concurred, deciding to sell it. They agreed to split the earnings, but a dispute arose when Elma suggested an 80-20 split, with Lucy receiving 80. Lucy protested, leading to a more equitable 50-50 division. To sell their items, they visited a magic bookstore. The storekeeper recognized Elma and noted his return, accompanied by Lucy. Elma presented their items for evaluation, including golden toad blades and tin swords. The storekeeper, intrigued, offered 25 million, but Elma demanded 30 million. Lucy, unsure, sought Elma's guidance. He advised against yielding to the storekeeper's tactics. The negotiation continued, with the storekeeper proposing 25 million and Elma insisting on 30 million. Lucy, questioning the offer, was reassured by Elma, who emphasized not showing weakness. The storekeeper, intrigued by the skill book, Elma revealed it came from the King of Sleep and offered it for 20 million. The storekeeper countered with 14 million, acknowledging Elma's business acumen. Elma suspected the storekeeper could sell the book at a higher price. The storekeeper explained it advanced wind magic, assuring a quick sale. After some haggling, they settled on 15 million. The storekeeper praised Elma's negotiating skills and expressed surprise at his willingness to sell at such a low price. Elma, satisfied, believed he had secured a good deal. The woman scrutinized the young man, her silence deafening. Suddenly, she erupted, accusing Elma of stubbornness and questioning the sincerity of the young man's intentions to use the book. Elma retaliated, urging the woman to consider their long-standing customer relationship and offer a fair price. Amidst this heated exchange, Lucy intervened, inquiring about the cost of the smoldering Fang skill book. The woman disclosed its value at a whopping 55 million local currency, while Elma argued its market value had dropped to 33 million. Lucy, mentally prepared for 50 million, suggested an alternative exchanging Elma's goods for the coveted skill book. The woman initially resisted, but Elma saw the potential benefit and began contemplating the proposition. Lucy, sensing an opportunity, agreed to share half of their intended payment for the girl. Elma hesitated, but Lucy insisted it was a gift of gratitude. Elma, still skeptical, agreed for now, warning that future uncertainties might alter the arrangement. The woman applauded Lucy's negotiation skills, and Lucy affirmed her satisfaction with the deal. As they finalized their agreement, Elma wondered about the surprisingly harmonious relationship between Lucy and the woman. Meanwhile, in an unknown dungeon, Maris, having slaughtered everyone in her path, received news that the life transfer was complete. Back in town, Elma's family learned of his exploits, and his father expressed frustration at Elma's continued disgrace to the family name. The butler defended Elma's virtue, proposing to verify the information before taking drastic action. The family head, growing impatient, suggested banishing Elma from the Adventurers Guild. Interrupting their discussion, Maris arrived, addressing the family head as dad and expressing concern about Elma's punishment. The family head, appreciating Maris's input, considered her proposal to personally investigate Elma's situation. Exiting the woman's store, Elma and Lucy discussed their purchases. Elma sighed, admitting they had bought the book. Lucy reminded him that she had allowed him to use her share and considered it a gift. Elma acknowledged the price difference, but justified the necessity of acquiring the skill book. The young man assured the girl that the smouldering fang skill tree was potent, though her concerns lingered. As they prepared to venture into the unknown, uncertainties loomed over Elma's actions and their consequences. The young man carefully spent his skill points, transforming smouldering fangs abilities tailored for critical situations. With these enhanced skills, even a heavy knight could unleash massive damage. Before delving into his newfound strength, the young man, Elma, warned Lucy of his imminent start, placing his hand on the skill book. A radiant glow enveloped them as Elma, with intent focus, opened his status window. He replaced the protection enhancement skill with smouldering fangs, showcasing the successful transformation to Lucy.
Elma, grateful for Lucy's assistance, displayed his status window to her. Lucy, however, reminded him that he had advised against revealing his status to others. Despite Elma's happiness, Lucy shared in his joy and suggested allocating skill points immediately. Elma, pragmatic, insisted on first investing in heavy armor before addressing the rest. Together, they entered the guild, acknowledging the need to upgrade their equipment. Lucy proposed using items obtained from the Hole of Dreams, but Elma cautioned against the frequent loot drops, opting for discretion.
As they approached the guild, the doors flung open with a resounding bang. Elma turned to the source of the disturbance, only to be surprised by the unexpected arrival of Mr. Iso. The guild head inquired about Iso's purpose, prompting him to request a private conversation, excluding everyone else. Elma, sensing trouble, urged Lucy to leave discreetly, not wanting to draw attention. Lucy questioned Elma about Iso, expressing her distrust due to the Edwan family's history of abusing power. Elma, silent and somber, remained unresponsive. Isao, with an intimidating demeanor, ordered Elma and Lucy to halt. Startled, Lucy attempted to apologize, but Elma intervened, stating that Iso needed him. Iso, visibly furious, accused Elma of harboring hidden courage for a long time. Maris, accompanying Iso, questioned Lucy's association with Elma. Awkwardly, Lucy inquired if Maris truly knew Elma. Elma, taking charge, ordered Lucy to leave, claiming the situation was his alone. Iso, dismissive of ordinary people, demanded Lucy's immediate departure. Neres, interrupting, referred to Iso as her father and warned him not to harm Lucy, suspecting her involvement. Iso alleged that Elma was a former member of the Edwan family, leading to a confrontation. The guild head questioned Iso's claims, and tensions rose. Iso insisted that someone in the guild was colluding with Elma and demanded their identification. The guild head reluctantly agreed to carry out the order. Maris proposed a test of Elma's abilities through a real fight, suggesting the use of life transfer to determine his true level. Iso, skeptical, warned that Elma's strength would be apparent against a heavy knight like Maris. A conditional agreement was reached. If Elma proved his strength, Isao would cease interference. Maris and Elma faced off, engaging in a heated duel. Despite training since childhood, Maris displayed animosity towards Elma. Lucy, astonished by Maris's rapid attacks, observed the intense battle. Maris relentlessly attacked, but Elma, focused and defensive, blocked her strikes with his shield. Maris taunted him for not fighting at full strength, and Lucy noted Elma's decreasing health. Iso, confident in Maris's victory, gloated over Elma's perceived disadvantage. However, a sudden turn of events revealed Elma's strategic approach, catching Maris off guard. Lucy, witnessing Elma's resilience, exclaimed his strength, shifting the dynamics of the confrontation. As Elma approached her adversary, he swung his massive sword with precision, targeting a vulnerable spot the girl couldn't defend. Helpless, she was sent flying to the side. Lucy, observing the scene, felt a surge of delight as Elma successfully landed a blow. Iso watched in surprise, pondering the vast difference in their skills. He couldn't fathom how Maris, with her formidable attack power, fell victim to the young man's class. Iso reasoned that, despite lacking the tower title buff, the young man's speed was sufficient to execute such a trick. Neres observed the unfolding battle, raising her eyebrows as Elma and Maris clashed. Elma managed to strike back, their swords meeting at a joint point. The girl, however, smiled, expressing relief that the young man had not changed over time. Despite Elma's tense expression, the girl assured him that, because he had managed to land a hit, she would unveil something special. Maris swiftly shifted into a fighting stance, employing the skills of a seasoned swordsman, specifically a pinpoint. In an instant, she appeared before the young man, thrusting her sword directly at him. Elma barely dodged the attack. Undeterred, Maris executed a rapid follow-up strike, aiming directly at the young man. Elma, using his shield, managed to block the onslaught. The young man, surprised by his successful defense, noted Maris's crazy smile and prepared for another attack. Maris, undeterred, unleashed a relentless assault, ultimately landing a blow that caused the young man to spit out blood. Lucy, observing with fear, sensed an ominous aura emanating from Maris. Overwhelmed, she exclaimed that it wasn't fair. The young man maintained his fighting stance, but Maris exuded absolute confidence. Maris, reveling in the situation, approached the young man, declaring it was time to finish the battle. Elma, grinning, relayed that the young man had 3 goals in the battle: testing the effectiveness of Maris's precise strike, finding her weak point, and lowering her health below 40. Despite Maris's surprise, the young man revealed his health stood at 38 out of 100. Maris accused him of bluffing, but Elma explained that the girl's sword ability, a water raven, was already at level 45. The young man, with a serious expression, stated that he had calculated everything. Now, he could allocate